if you look at the Philadelphia 76ers tonight, a player that simply was not involved was Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid was not
Oh,
involved whatsoever. 1 of 9 tonight, 4 points for Joel Embiid. Ultimately, looking at where Joel Embiid is right now in his NBA career, is Joel Embiid still a difference maker for the Philadelphia 76ers? And what kind of impact does Embiid's status own on the Sixers and really their relativity with the Celtics as well, right? We're talking about the Celtics as, are they going to be above the Sixers in the standings? Or the Sixers going to hop the Celtics? Right now, it's hard to tell knowing. I mean, both teams don't really have expectations for where they're going to end up. The Sixers are going into it going, well, we're kind of letting we'll see with Paul George and Joel Embiid. Then the Celtics are going into it going, we'll see with Anthony Simons and Jalen Brown, Peyton Pritchard, and everybody. It's both teams are coming into this season with a we'll see mentality, a we'll see attitude, right? But ultimately, Joel Embiid first returns tonight, and even the 20 minutes he played in preseason. What do we think about where Joel Embiid is at right now and really the Sixers' relativity with the Celtics?
Joel Embiid. Boys, I've been saying it for years. I've been saying it for years, these past 2 years specifically. Philadelphia needs to get rid of Joel Embiid. Why would I want that as a Celtics fan? Why would I want to see Philadelphia get better? Because it's sad, because it's horrific to see what Philadelphia is going through. You know, every game day, and I hate Philadelphia. So whenever they lose, I go on social media. I'm not typing away, but I'm just seeing how their fans react. And something that's sad, which I could never, which I'm so grateful that Jason Tatum is our superstar and Jason Tatum is our franchise player. Jason Tatum's always available, considering he's out right now with a season-long injury, but he's always available. His questionables always turn to availables. His doubtfuls always turn to availables. Joel Embiid's availables just turn to outs. They don't even turn to questionable or doubtful or probable. They just straight up go to outs, and he's in street clothes. They debuted these new brotherly love jerseys and these throwback black Sixers jerseys, and they post pictures of Joel Embiid, damn well knowing that he's going to be in street clothes the night that they wear those jerseys. It's sickening to see Joel Embiid in a fan base. And I get it. I shouldn't have sympathy for the Philly fans, but I really do, because having Joel Embiid as your franchise player is embarrassing. It's embarrassing. And every game day, I see in the comments, Philadelphia fans, is Embiid playing? Is Embiid playing? They don't even know their own injury report. They don't even know when Embiid's playing and when he's not playing. And they don't even know how healthy he is. Is he at 75? Is he at 100? Is he at 25? Is he at 35? They don't know. Embiid doesn't know. And I think it's sickening. And I think Joel Embiid and the Philadelphia 76ers need to part way as soon as possible. I think Joel Embiid, I think Kyle Lowry, I think Paul George all need to get off of the ship. Abort, abort, abort. They got to get out. And Philadelphia needs to dish them out. The problem is, and we've talked about it here on the program many times, especially during the trade deadline, who the hell wants that to pay Paul George and Joel Embiid that type of money? Who wants to pay those two players that type of money? Not many teams want to, and I'm sure that they've tried to shop around. Don't let them kid you. And my new thing is, Luka Doncic gets traded, anybody can get traded at any given time. Nobody's off the table. Nobody wants Joel Embiid. Nobody wants that knee. Nobody wants to pay him that money. And quite frankly, nobody wants to deal with his childish attitude on a night-to-night basis. Philly fans are sick of him. Philly fans are sick of him. They are sick of him. And you get those select few kind of far Philadelphia people who, trust the process. You've trusted the process far too long. You've put too much effort into it. You put too much of your emotion into it. It's not working. It's never worked, and it's never going to work. You have VJ, you have Tyrese, and you have Jared McCain. 3 terrific, prolific players. Only problem is they're all guards. Play on the wing. You get yourself a damn good center. I would love to see a Bam Adebayo next to a Tyrese Maxey. You got a damn good team in Philadelphia. You got a damn good core, young core in Philadelphia. You want my opinion? It hasn't changed, and it's not going to change. Joel Embiid, they got to part ways ASAP.
Can I say one thing for me is I'm at the point where I was with Zion last year, that I just have given up on Zion. I've given up on Embiid. One thing about Joel Embiid is the Sixers have been counting on him year in and year out. They're like, all right, when Embiid comes back, we're going to compete. This is when we're going to compete. We're going to compete when he's back. And Justin, you said it perfectly right there. The question is, when is he going to be back? When is he going to be healthy? Because one thing for me is, I don't know if you guys remember, but I remember on Christmas last year when we faced the 76ers and he literally fell over the rope. Like, this guy.
Yeah. Pre-game. I was there when it happened. I remember taking a video. Like he injured during the pre-game warm-ups. Nobody was even around.
CTW film of that.
Yes.
Certified CTW film.
It fell over rope. Like, he's glass. And that's the thing. And you already said it, so I can't even sum it up any better. But they have such a young core if they move off of those old vets. You could I wouldn't even mind them keeping a Kyle Lowry just for experience there and a veteran to, help lead the ship, because I think a veteran or two are fine. But when you're paying guys top dollar like Paul George and Joel Embiid, it's not worth it when they're not giving you production on the floor. If you have a player like a Curry or a LeBron who could still give you production on the floor and be a leader, I'm open to that. But for the 76ers, these guys aren't even playing. And I don't know, but I don't think Joel Embiid is a big name in the locker room to call on for advice. And I don't really see him as a mentor. I see him, and I'm not trying to throw shade at Embiid, but I just never seen him as a leader. I see him more as all right, I'm working on myself. I'm trying to come back. And then it's like, I don't want to play because I don't want to get injured. And half the time I see him out there, he looks like a robot for how much padding he has on his leg. It's like,
he doesn't look good at all.
Doesn't. And that's the problem. I think it was last season, I saw him out there and his leg just looked like a robot. Like, just leave. Like, if you're in that much physical pain and you can't play, why are you even out there? Why are you putting yourself out there in that situation? And it's like the 76ers, and I love what you said, and it's not for the benefit of me because I do not support the 76ers, but it's like they have a young core there. All right, keep one or two of your veterans in a Kyle Lowry or Andre Drummond to kind of give mentor advice, but don't keep the guys that you're paying top dollar just to sit the bench and watch, and you're just paying them for nothing. And you're paying them when you could get younger value. I don't know how much you would get for them. I really don't. But at the end of the day, they're just sitting on the bench. They're taking up bench space. I mean, they're taking up roster spots. That's so valuable in the NBA. We've seen, obviously, with the Celtics offseason, roster spots are valuable. There are some guys that we wouldn't have minded picking up on the free agent market. Those are roster spots that they're just soaking up. And another thing, they're costing you top dollar. So it's just get them out if you want any success, because right now it's just a revolving door. It's going to come back to the same situation. It's going to come back to, hey, Joel Embiid is ready. Are you guys ready? Well, tonight we saw he was on a minutes restriction, and when they needed him most in the fourth quarter, he couldn't even play. And
Listen,
it's like, what are we doing?
Minute restriction or not, he sucked. He was hurting. He was a minus 16 in 20 minutes. I'm not kidding you. I am not kidding you. I was praying when the Celtics started collapsing in the final 5 minutes. I was praying, and when Xavier Tillman checked in because Nimi checked out, he fouled out. I was praying that Nick Nurse was going to throw Joel Embiid back in there so the Celtics could just feast on him. I knew, and it was the first play off the bench. Xavier Tillman nearly forced a jump ball to Joel Embiid, and then Joel Embiid just took the ball and shot it right in his face and got blocked. Like he thought that was going to work, and then X goes and scores on the other end. I love you, X. And X played phenomenal tonight. I really think if we're gonna bring back the Justin Flowers section, I'm giving it to X tonight. X, you get Justin Flowers tonight. We'll have to get the graphic back, but you get my flowers tonight. I'll talk about you later. But Joel Embiid, I was praying that he was going to get back into this game. The Sixers are better without Joel Embiid. They've been better without Joel Embiid. And right now, they are better. And I'm not just saying that because VJ and Tyrese had a good game and they scored over 50% of the points for the Sixers. That's a regular occurrence. That is going to be a regular occurrence. And Joel Embiid, if Philly wants to win and they want a chance at winning, trust me, Joel Embiid is not the answer. They got to get rid of him.
And I want to say one last thing, too. It's not even the fact of, all right, you have to put in Joel Embiid because he's not productive, and you obviously saw that in the game today. He was not productive at all. It's the fact that you want old Embiid to be productive, and you're not going to get old Embiid. Embiid, I'm sorry, but from what we've seen from the past couple years, Embiid is not coming back. His knee and leg is just so messed up that we're not going to get the same Embiid we saw MVP Joel Embiid season. We're not going to see that same productivity from Joel Embiid. I'm sorry, it's the truth.
You know how I look at it right now? I'm like, when people get, they get height extensions. It's like in their legs. It's like Joel Embiid is that right now. You have the name on paper. Oh, I was this height and now I'm above 6 foot.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, I'm moving still pretty weirdly because my legs are a bunch of pieces of metal. It's like that's where it's at right now with Joel Embiid. It's like, yes, I'm Joel Embiid. I have the potential. Like we're even talking about like potential. You know what I mean? To perform now. You know what I mean? Like
to be
like,
what?
Like I'm saying, like to even think about that though is like to come back. Like I can potentially provide something to you. Like that's what it feels like right now in this moment in my eyes. Like he can't even do anything. But what I'm saying though is this: we're at that point now where we're like trying to like imagine a story where Embiid is successful, where he is a piece, and it's just like it's a thing of the past. It's time to move on. It's time to accept the fact that it's a new era, it's a new journey that we need to take. Because it's really affecting even like the Sixers identity. You know what I mean? Just like the franchise as a whole. Like that's detrimental to them. It's like people don't want to go to the Sixers because you have a guy like Joel Embiid that just is not showing success and not being a leader.
A little conspiracy. Everybody put the blame on Joel Embiid with the whole Ben Simmons situation. Or everybody put the blame on Ben Simmons with the whole Ben Simmons situation. Why are we holding Joel Embiid accountable?
Agreed.
Why? What, because of health? Because even when he's been on the court, he hasn't looked great and he hasn't led to winning. And what winning has he led to because he hasn't been past the second round? I agree. Identity thing.
I was one who was on the train of the Sixers need to build around Ben Simmons and they need to get rid of Embiid because I was on the train of, well, if this league is going to a fast-paced, spread-out type of game, right? Which at the time, right now, I feel like from watching opening night and tonight, the pace is crazy. And even preseason, the pace is crazy right now. But specifically the three-pointers, right? Like we're playing a perimeter game. Joel Embiid, this is part of the identity problem for the Sixers. Half of the Sixers want to play fast. Meanwhile, Joel Embiid, his play style demands a team needs to play slow on the offensive end of the floor. If you think about Maxey and Edgecombe, they're quick guards. They're up and down the floor. They're quick. They're going towards the rim. Meanwhile, Embiid, when the ball hits his hands, it's a back down, a shimmy, little, and it takes forever. It takes forever. And if he's not scoring at an efficient rate, which obviously tonight he went 4 points on 1 of 9 shooting, that is something the Sixers can't even consider involving in their offense, right? Because the Sixers beforehand took a step back from pace because they deferred to Joel Embiid and wanted to give him the ball in those situations and went, if you take a couple extra seconds here, he's still scoring the ball at a tremendous rate. Well, now if he's not scoring the ball at that same rate, why would the Sixers slow the progress down of their offense to accommodate Joel Embiid. And that's the problem here, because Joel Embiid right now on his contract, he's owed $55.2 million this year. Okay, well, we knew he was going to be on the roster this year. Everyone knew that. But Joel Embiid, after this season, right, which we're in game one, folks, game one. If you look at the title, it's game one. Joel Embiid owns 3 more years on his contract. 3 more. 58.1 million next year, the year after in 27-28, 62.7 million, and then in 28-29, $67.4 million. And it's a player option. I imagine he'll be picking up that player option later on down the line. But this is a disastrous situation for the Sixers. And even though there's a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, right? Because VJ Edgecombe and Maxey looked incredible, and you still have McCain coming back and all those guys. You definitely, there's some light at the end of the tunnel. But Paul George and Joel Embiid, that situation, the identity of the team, and those two contracts specifically, trying to build out the rest of the roster, I mean, it's going to be rough for the Sixers, because tonight, Joel Embiid, he looked slow. He looked completely slow. He looked late on rotations. Yeah. And he looked 100% willing to settle for a jumper rather than attack the rim aggressively. I mean, that's what made Joel Embiid so great years ago. He was able to attack teams in different areas of the court, and not only in different areas, but in different ways. Right now, it's settling for a jumper, settling for a jumper, settling for a jumper. I mean, he is settling, and that's not only seen in tonight's game. That was seen in preseason as well. And he only played one, I believe he played one game in preseason against the Minnesota Timberwolves. That was his only game. And it was the same result there. And Joel Embiid, up to this point, hasn't played too much basketball, right, this season. But, I mean, this is a reoccurring theme of Joel Embiid now for a year and a half, really since the Olympics, that time period, more than a year now. And I don't see this getting any better whatsoever in the fact we saw it tonight. This was not two areas of the Sixers, right? The Sixers, on one hand, are looking towards the future with Maxey, with McCain, with Edgecombe. And then on the other hand, they're looking at Paul George, who missed tonight's game with a knee injury. And then Joel Embiid, who shot 1 of 9. And they're taking up the bulk of their salaries. I mean, with the Sixers, you have these good things over here, but then these things over here are still going to be hampering the Sixers for years to come, unfortunately.